All right, TRVL. This is, if anyone doesn't know, I analyze TRVL on a daily basis. That's my hat, Dtravel. I'm not paid or sponsored by Dtravel at all. I'm not paid. I've never been paid by Dtravel. I'm just a firm believer in Dtravel uh because my real life business is this. I'm an Airbnb super host. I've been doing it for 9 years now. Shit, that's a long time. I've been doing it for longer. And I have a 4.99 star rating on Airbnb. I'm a super host. I have 175 reviews, and I've got, actually it says 3 properties, but at the moment I've only got 2 properties. One of them is off the market, and you see I get 5 stars, so I get quite good reviews. I've been doing it for a long time, and the reason why I'm so mega bullish on Dtravel is because what Dtravel has done is it's helped me with my real life, my real world business, by allowing me to take direct bookings at no cost to me. Yeah, so this is their website, it's their template, and it imports the data from Airbnb and from booking.com, and so they're online at the same time. And now if people want to, they can book the same apartment in London, and it's going to be 20%, 15 to 20% cheaper just by booking directly with me. And you can also pay in crypto, and the transaction is recorded on the blockchain, so it's all Web3, and it works. It's been working for me for a good part of 2 years now. This is still the beginning. It's an innovation, and effectively what I think that this Dtravel, it has a potential to make take a real market, a big part of Airbnb's market share. So if you go to their website, Dtravel, do your own research. There's a lot of things to look at here about the network, and you can find the search app here, where you can search for booking for properties, Toronto, wherever, Auckland. If you go to London, you'll find my properties. And actually, this is a tried and tested product. So I've been using it now for 2 years, and I've done 24, I think it's 24 transactions so far, direct bookings, using Dtravel. And the token is actually, it's quite interesting, because if you don't know about Dtravel, then you can go and learn. Have a look at the token, and what you can see is, if you go to the white paper somewhere, let me find it, documentation, that's it. Go to documentation, go to the white paper or the light paper. If you go to the tokenomics, you can actually find the model, the tokenomics model, and it's one of these links. Yeah, and what you'll see is that there's a burn bin. See that burn bin over here? So what that means is that when I have a direct booking, when someone stays at my property and they book through Dtravel on my site, on my direct site, then a portion of the value that because I pay Dtravel 3%, I think that's going up. I think it's going up to 5% soon. A portion of that value will be used by Dtravel to buy TRVL and burn forever. Okay, so we have a deflationary tokenomics model here, and that doesn't include all the other uses of TRVL, which is the stake to earn and the stake to boost. And so in the future, the percentage that I'm charged is going to be 5%. At the moment it's 3%. Airbnb is 15%, and booking.com is a minimum of 20%. So what we'll be doing is charging people 5% in the future, and then they can stake TRVL to reduce that. So it's called stake to boost, and that will we create like layers of utility to TRVL, as well as the governance, which is a DAO. And then obviously the burn bin is really important, because in the future you could be talking about a multi-billion-dollar revenue, real world revenue, and then a percentage of that is just constantly being burned and burned and burned. And so all you have to do is just hodl TRVL, and you could be earning value by the depreciation of the number of TRVL in this ecosystem. So I'm really quite bullish on this. So I do this every day. There's not much to analyze really, because every time I look at it, nothing really changes. It's bullish. For me, it looks extremely bullish. Launched in 21, at the end of 21, at the peak of the bear market, at the peak of when Bitcoin was about to crash. And what we're looking at right now is a higher time frame triple bottom. And what's interesting about this recent dip, which happened here in August, September, is that if you look closely and carefully, you'll see that we actually put in a higher low. Yeah, higher low. So that's really quite bullish. That basically, for me, this indicates that this is the floor now. The floor is in, the bottom is in. What you can see on this higher time frame is that the price is above the overall value area. Yeah, so we've kind of escaped the value area, and usually I use either Bybit chart, or I have a combined chart of these 4 exchanges: KuCoin, Gate, IOMXC, and Bybit. Hold on a second. And you can see it's basically the same. We're above the value area. High. We've kind of rejected from this lower part of this range now. And what I've got is this this fib time, which I've drawn. So if people aren't familiar with fib time, I use it quite a lot. And basically it allows me to kind of guess good times where pivots are going to be put in. So yesterday I did quite a long stream on this on TRVL about why I think we're about to put in a really major pivot here on a massive support and then resistance flip. So I've got these higher time frame fib levels. The big one, the first one, the 236 is 5.5. Now, I don't know if people remember, but I called for it to be support here back in March. And back in March, interestingly enough, that was an amazing opportunity for a lot of people, because it dipped, hit my level 5.5. I gave people a lot of reasons why this is a good area, and it did back in March, it did like 100% just on that. It was a simple trader. A lot of people, if you go back to March the 18th, let me show you. Actually, it's quite interesting. I have a video here on my YouTube channel on TRV. I have a kind of a specific playlist. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's quite interesting, going all the way back. There's a lot of good stuff here. I mean, if you see these light green ones, you can actually look how Dtravel has transformed my real world business. Go and have a look at that, because that information is still relevant. It's only a 17-minute video. If you're interested to do some research, you can go and have a look at those light green ones. Let me see here. Can TRVL hold at 5.5 cents? That was 7 months ago. It's quite a long video, 37 minutes. So this is where it came into 5.5 cents. Actually, I think before I said it should. I'll have to find it. Yeah. Which makes me think. Anyway, it's just I'm just being nostalgic now. So I think we're about to put in a major pivot, just because we've got this fib time, and I go over it in depth yesterday. But basically, what we've got is we've got these 2 fib times. One is from these 2 pivots here, from this pivot high to the low to the high. you can see that we're coming into the 1-to-1 here. And then the other fib time we've got is this one, which is from the beginning to the first low to the first high. And you can see we're coming to the 1.618. What's interesting about these two fib times is there's a little bit of confluence. And also what's interesting about these fib times is that we're about to flip this 5.5 cent level into support on fib time, right? So if my thesis is correct, if we can hold 5.5 cents here on fib time, then we should be putting in a major support pivot here. And then my next kind of target is going to be these highs. It's going to be these highs, and for this next move all the way up to 17 cents probably. That's kind of like my next target. And actually in this kind of wave 3, and so if you're not familiar, I've been doing Elliott waves on this too, and potentially we're looking to, if we can wave 3, we can wave 3 as high as possible. But actually I'm looking to for us to get into the golden pocket, which is somewhere about between 30 and 36 cents. So nothing's really changed. I mean, looking at the lower time frame, it's doing what I thought, which is we're kind of flagging, aren't we? We're just creating some kind of triangle here, a little bit of a flag, and we've put in a bunch of volume lower down. Most of the volume is still at the highs. We've come into the value area low of this range, and we found a little bit of support. So I don't think any of this is impulsive. I think all of this is just corrective, and potentially you've got like an A, B, C. Could this be it, or could we be forming more of a kind of a 5-wave triangle pattern here, like an A, B, C, D, E? I think this is possible too. You know, like an A, B, C, D, something like that is possible too here. What we really want to see now, after we complete something like this, is an impulsive move. We have to see the volume, we have to see impulse. What happens if we go down? Well, I don't know really. If we go down, then that's your first kind of corrective A. Then we'll be looking for a correction and a correction before we go back up. But I still think that we're in the wave 2, and at the moment it looks like 5.5 is holding. Okay, that's not to say that, then this is the thing, even though I think the price can always go down, and so therefore I always think to myself, what if, I mean, I'm not going to sell, I'll be looking to buy more. So if we end up going down to 4.4, oh god, I'll be buying a shit ton. I'll be actually looking to buy more TRVL. Not to say that I'm not going to buy any now, because it's a good price, but the confirmation would be, obviously, the minute you see the impulsive move, you start seeing it impulse, you'll end up buying it much higher, because TRVL is going to move really fast. It'll move like 20-30% very quickly when it moves, and that's why these consolidation ranges are so critical for people to accumulate, because otherwise they'll be end up buying after the pump happens, and that would be too late for most people. The best opportunities on TRVL are when we get these kind of corrective dips, because you'll get it from these kind of local highs. You get it 18% cheaper there. From these local highs, you're getting it 9% cheaper. You see, that's how you do it, rather than just trying to wait for the pump. It's better to wait for the corrective dips, wait for the kind of the price to settle down, and then start buying again and start accumulating then. Okay, and what you'll notice is that the market now is buying. No one's selling at the moment, everyone's buying. Yeah, so the only opportunity you get to get these tokens at discount are corrective dips, right? That's TRVL. Do your own research, don't take my word for it. Like I said, I don't get paid. I've never got paid a penny by Dtravel. I wear the hat. I'm a firm believer in the movement of taking down Airbnb and disrupting Airbnb, and I'm also a firm believer in the DAO, the Dtravel DAO, the decentralized autonomous organization, which will belong to token holders, and ultimately that they will be, most of those are going to be people who own properties. So if you go here and have a look on this web app, You can find lots of properties. Every single one is a direct booking hosted by Dtravel. Every single one you can book directly with the property owner through Dtravel, and most of them you can also pay using crypto. Okay, so for the future, there's not going to be anything like this for the future. If you can imagine the future where we have mass adoption, or we have somewhat close to some kind of significant adoption of crypto in the Trump era, in the next 4 years, Dtravel is going to become significant in its own right. Right now, we're looking at what's the market cap on Dtravel? Let's have a look. 20 million market cap. I think we'll get to about 500 quite easily, 500 million. But in the future, actually, I'm imagining multiple billions, because Airbnb, Booking.com, VRBO, they're all in the multiple billions. You know, they're not small entities, and I don't see why we can't do that. That's my TRVL for today. SUIRH is kind of demanding it. What can I say? I have to comply.